2020 is almost over, and I think we can all agree it's been a pretty good year on the whole. Granted, there were a few hiccups along the way, and some of us did hide indoors for 3 months, for reasons I can't quite remember. Something about Christmas being cancelled. But yeah, pretty good year, all things considered. That is, until now. The worst has finally happened. Out of the blue, without explanation, there's a sudden shortage of consoles. With suppliers of our precious PS5s and Xbox Series being consumed by the evil scalpers, desperate gamers can instead turn only to that last bastion of gaming, the stalwart, welcoming, and ever resilient PCMR. Oh, for fuck. So, yeah. Looks like the latest PC hardware releases are going to have the same shortages as consoles for the foreseeable future. But one of the strengths of the PC as a platform is that it's possible to scale your ambitions to your budget, or to the realities of a world where tech demand is temporarily outstripping tech supply. Let's look then at what is actually achievable on a console-like budget in a time when the latest and greatest tech is sadly out of reach. While AMD are gaining rave reviews for their latest processors, the Ryzen 5000 series are, at least at the time of writing, still widely considered to be a myth. 2000 and 3000 processors are still worthwhile purchases, but have seen some inflation as a side effect of the increased demand for them. If you're not adverse to shopping on the used market, however, the quad-core Ryzen 3 3100 and 6-core Ryzen 5 2600 can be purchased for under £90 each on AliExpress. With used Wraith Stealth coolers available for less than £10 and a brand new B450 motherboard that can be patched to work with the latest processors costing between £50 and £60. On the other hand, you could risk the wrath of the comments section and pick up an Intel. Their current LGA 1200 platform supports some pretty competitive processors, with the quad-core i3 10100F currently offering remarkable value at about £80 to £100. Motherboards based on Intel's B460 chipset offer a reasonable feature set starting at £65. The graphics card market should, in theory, be going through an overhaul right now, with both AMD and Nvidia releasing new cards that are set to shake up the market. Until the shortages end, however, prices on current-gen stuff have inflated. Because of the proposed price-to-performance benefit of these new cards, I would not suggest spending current market prices on AMD 5000 series or Nvidia 2000 series. Instead, I'd suggest biding your time with an older AMD like the RX 570 or 580, or the current top-end budget card from Nvidia, the GTX 1650 Super. Any of these cards can be had for between £150 and £200 new, or £100 to £150 used, and can give you a superb experience, at or above PS4 Pro levels of visual quality with smooth frame rates. Which one you should buy depends on prices locally and which brand you prefer. What you choose to buy for the rest of your system is going to depend greatly on what pricing is like in your local area. 16GB of RAM, which I recommend, is commonly available in the UK for £50 to £60, striking the best value in terms of price and capacity, and can even be had at some high frequencies without spending extra. Although most games won't protest loudly if you only have 8GB, you will certainly be hurting your performance if you only use a single stick of RAM. SSD storage is now at the kind of price levels that make it a compelling replacement for a hard drive, with 1TB SATA models available for less than £80. So, that's all very well for me to talk about in theory, but how will this kind of PC perform in practice? Well, it's funny you should ask. I just so happen to have built this Ryzen 2600 RX 580 based system for around £450 all in from mostly used parts, but you should be able to build something comparable new for £500 to £550. To get a feel for how this performs, I put it up against a couple of pretty demanding new games, as well as your standard popular titles. Sadly, I intended to test Cyberpunk on this build, but the PC actually sold just before the game went live. From what I've seen on Crisp's channel though, I don't think an RX 580 is going to suffice without some serious graphical compromises. Anyway, that's just one possible build. I have another one in the works using the 1650 Super and a Ryzen 3100, so get subscribed and notified to make sure you don't miss that. Let me know what parts you'd use down below, and why not check out one of my other videos while you're there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.